So today we are at Ravn Clay Pottery. Welcome to the side mission. You know, I did say we were finished for Christmas, but we're going to have a wee side mission with the team. So come along and we'll go inside and we'll meet Keith and we'll see what's happening. The rest of the team will be here. Come on. Hey buddy.
It's alright, it's fine, I've come to expect nothing less.
He's so late. He's so late. He's so late.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, this is a nice stressful end to the year. Welcome to the studio. So you've all met the dog. I've explained to some people already she can be a little bit grumpy. So if she goes on her chair, we'll just leave her alone. She will bark if anyone comes in. So if you're experiencing a moment of like mindful calm and peacefulness, the dog will go mental. Just to make you aware. The kiln isn't on, so we don't need to worry about that. There's a set of tools in your stations. And yeah, so we're going to make some mugs and castles. So you're on castles. Brilliant. So we'll kind of all start together at the same sort of time, and then you guys, you might sort of need to be a bit more independent. Mug people, you've got a choice. You're obviously drinking out of Daddy Bears at the moment, which is this size. So the clay that I've prepped for you will make a mug this size. But if you want it to be a mummy bear, we can trim it down. If you want it to be a baby bear, we can trim it down. And if you want it to be like a mini stein, we can also trim that down as well. So one of the first decisions you guys will have to make is over which size mug you want to make. Do you know already? Are you a big...
I feel like I'm leaning towards this one.
That one, okay, cool. So that's your template.
Thank you.
Yep, so
Daddy one.
daddy one, okay. 2 daddies and something more delicate. Okay. So I'm going to get these out of the way. I'll start, if it's okay, I'll start you all off by showing you how to make a cylinder with the base. And then mug people, you can sort of do that bit, and then we can just sort of catch up with castles, if that's all right. Fabulous. Don't use the tools on each other. We got to the end of the year without any first aid incidents, so we're almost there. Okay, so we're a slab building studio. We work with a high fire stoneware clay. Pottery experience, you've got some on this side. Any pottery experience? Nope.
Like once or twice.
Expert
But I wasn't
level?
very good.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. James?
A wee bit.
Wee bit. That gives me nothing, does it?
A wee bit.
Okay.
I did bring rubber gloves
Did you?
for the sensory issue.
Ah, okay.
I will be selling them for £10 a piece. Just in case.
So, the work that you make today is going to shrink by sort of between 10 and 15%. We're a slab building studio, so pretty much everything that we make and sell is in these pre-rolled slabs, which is just sort of then assemble. This is 5mm clay, 5mm thick clay, and it will correspond to the thickness of the mugs that you've got once it's been sort of fired and glazed. I have got some thicker clay prepared for handles. We can get onto handles a little bit later on when we've got started. First firing will take it down to bisqueware, so it will end up looking like this. So this is porous, and then when we dip it, the water soaks into the bisqueware, the glaze gets stuck on the outside, and then it gets fired again up to 1200 degrees, and then you have a mug that you can use forever and ever, unless you drop it, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's my business model that people smash their mugs. Okay, so is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
So, for everybody, what we'll need to do is to prep the shorter edges on here, because we're going to join the clay together into a cylinder. So we're going to join the edges here. You guys are going to stick it on a base. You guys, you need to do a bit more work around this top, and then we can attach the top up there. Every time you join clay together, that's potentially where it's going to be weakest. So this only being 5mm thick, we're going to use a bevel tool to cut a standard amount of clay off here and give us about 7mm. So if you can use the short wire end, it goes up against the clay, and then you just pull it down to yourself. Keep your thumb there so that you don't rip a bit of clay off there. Flip it left to right and do the same thing. Castle builders, you have to do one of the long edges as well. Okay. So you want to be making a parallelogram, not a trapezium. Yeah, that's right, parallelogram, not a trapezium. So don't worry if it goes wrong. There's absolutely no problem with making mistakes. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might just sort of humiliate you and point it out, or I might quietly help. So another one of your tools is a little fairy fork, which is a little scratchy tool like this. Score, slip, score is the process whereby we join clay together. So we score the clay so that the moisture that's in the slip can move in to this piece of clay, and then as it all dries, it should stick together. So you just break up the surface with your fairy fork. Do both ends. So every time you're joining clay together, this is what we need to be doing today. Although this slab is a little bit drier than sort of fresh clay, it will still tear and rip and distort, so just be a little bit careful. The slip is just very wet clay. Please make sure that you, A, don't put your brush in your tea, and B, you don't drink the slip. So put a generous amount on, and then just score that over again. I'll do the same at the other end. And then all we're going to do is bring these two edges together. We're going to start standing the work on the board so that we can move it about, and also it's easier to get it off the board if it starts to get stuck. So you can just stand it up on its edge and then start to bring those two prepped edges together. And then you can just pinch the one over the other. You should feel when you're pinching it together that it's as thick here as it is on either side. If it feels a bit thinner, it means you've probably underlapped it a little bit. If it feels a lot thicker, you've probably sort of doubled the thickness. It doesn't really matter that much. The only thing is, the clay, as it dries, it's going to shrink. And if you've got a thick wedge of clay down here in the seam, it's going to dry and shrink at a different rate, which is going to increase the distortion. But you are making a handmade piece of pottery, so you should embrace words like organic and handmade, rustic, which are all very nice ways of saying individual. So once you've pressed it together, you want to use your next tool, which is a kidney. Blue or orange ones, it doesn't really matter what you use them for, which the difference is today. The blue one is a little bit of a firmer material, so it will push the clay more. It'll be a bit more robust. Orange ones are a bit more delicate. And you want to use these to push the clay in, to sort of compress the clay. You don't really want to be scraping the clay away. So just going to use it to come over that seam. Now you'll probably find that this side seam will keep reappearing. That's not a problem. It's just a case of, if it does, compressing it again. For mug people, one of the most important things is the internal seam. So it's probably already waterproof, or it certainly will be by the time it's got glaze on it. But on the inside, we want to make sure that seam doesn't have any secret little holes or gaps, because that way we could make it a very unhygienic, there it is, an unhygienic mug. So for the inside seam, there's another tool which is a bit like a kidney on a stick, a little stylus tool. You can support your mug and then just blend that side in, or you can be really flash and support your mug on its side so the seam is down on the board, and then you can do the same sort of thing of just going over to blend it in as much as you can. Once you've kind of got it to that stage, I'm not really worried about how circular it is at the moment, just want to get that nice and secure. So when you're happy with that, You can then grab yourself a former, and this will just encourage it back into a circular profile. Do not force this in, and if this goes a long way down in your piece, don't let go. I said this the other day to a group of 13 people, and I swear every single one of them let go. So yes, so what I think we'll do is we'll get to that stage, and then we might, but from that point onwards, we might be on separate instructions. When you come to put your wall together, remember this top edge that you've trimmed needs to be like that to match the profile of the roof that's going to go on. Just going to stand really still.
What's the most popular, Keith? What's the most popular Keith? What's the most popular Keith?
This Keith is the most popular Keith.
What's the most popular, is it a castle or a mug? Or?
To be fair, the workshop-wise, it's the pumpkins.
We
I
did see the
can't
pumpkin.
do enough pumpkin sessions. We started in July this year,
Brilliant.
Wow.
and they might be starting in June.
Cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's really nice because it's such a like a free-form one, in the sense that if it's not going well, you can make it look like a pumpkin quite easily. People have got an idea in their head of what a castle should look like or a mug. Pumpkin's a bit more forgiving. Very nice. You can still do the business with a former, just at the narrow end for now, and I'll give you a ball for the other end. So
We wait for the big mugs.
there's some formers there.
Big mugs for the big mugs. What's that?
Farmer.
Farmer. Conosce l'Orgaliera.
So for the other end, you might just want to sit the ball in, and it'll help it get that shape. Right, so mug makers, we're going to talk about handles and bases. So I'm going to give you a piece of clay like this for your handle. It's got a rectangular profile, so when you get it, you want to lay it on its widest side on the table, and then you've got some chamois leathers in some water pots kicking about on your table. We use these to just take off these rough edges, not rough particularly, but sharp. If you think about this, it's going to shrink. If we left this as a sharp edge, it's going to be quite uncomfortable to hold. So wet your chamois, wring out the worst, and then lay it on top of the clay. Sort of push it down a little bit at the sides, so there's a bit of pressure, and then pull it towards you. Rehydrates the clay, and then just takes off that sharp edge. Do both sides, and then on your spare board, because you've got two boards, I don't, on your spare board, then turn it onto its narrow edge and put it into the shape that you want your handle on your mug to be. Have an idea about what it's going to be before you do this, because the clay doesn't like being chopped and changed and twisted and things, because we want any sort of spare clay for later on. Shall I just give you the handles to do for now, and then we'll come back to bases? How's the castles coming along? Not bad.
Could I grab a cookie cutter?
Okay, hey, oh yes, of course. Yes. So, cookie cutter though is when you're at this stage. So build it up,
Right.
and then find the cookie cutter that just fits over.
Right.
I'm going to go for that one, and then you push it down at this stage.
Fantastic.
And then that will fit on your tower like that. That might be the right size. You might want to just check a different one.
That's a weird feeling, that.
Yeah.
That is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
So can I have a diagonal? No, I don't want it to be rounded.
What do you mean diagonal? As in? Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
This will be the new mug, by the way, please no one use it. Also, this will be my mug.
Uh,
There are many mugs like this, but this mug is mine.
I expect to see it in every video from now on.
Oh, you will, man.
Excellent. So when it's in the kiln, I'll just paint on the bottom, available at Ravn Clay. Fine.
I'm drinking my tea, I'll drink it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the chamois is a bit of a mixed blessing. Some people love it, usually boys of a certain age, but everyone else is like, "Ugh."
Thought of making mine into like a Mr. T knuckle duster. Like a two-finger.
Tastes nice.
Tastes nice.
You know, when you wash your car, you used to get
No.
a lump of chamois in your car.
How many times do you do it on each side?
Just one on each side, and then pop it into the shape, and then stick the board out of the way. I'm going to come around with your bases because Mr. James is ready. On your base, with your pin tool, if you just want to write your initial, so I know whose mug is whose, and then when it comes to glazing, I can try and get the correct mug back to the correct person. Ooh, sorry, Lewis, you're in the middle. Oh, stolen. Oh my God, this is evil stuff. So turn it up onto its narrow edge,
Yeah.
and then pop it in the shape that you think you want your handle to be. Do it for you. She just watched me. Where's my biscuit gone? What is an Empire biscuit? I'm very good at this. The little sculpture.
You might be.
None of them are going to be like your mug.
Inspiration.
One sec. I think I need another boot.
To the fire.
Oh, next to the fire. It's all a bit flashy in here.
This is nice.
Good,
Okay.
isn't it?
So you've done well. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and to you.
That was my first time at your workshop. I know we did the podcast, but it's a nice experience.
It
So
is.
where is this? Like, where can people find you?
Well, I mean, we do workshops here in Ford, so we're sort of between Wooler and Berwick, but we're also fully mobile. So increasingly, I go out and do community groups or schools or whatever.
Brilliant.
So it doesn't have to be a question of you getting here. We can be quite flexible.
Excellent. What's the, I ask you these questions all the time. I was asking you the way through that, but my favourite's one of these. Like these, if nobody's showing on the camera, which is one of these. I see these in Berwick in the windows when I'm out walking, so well done for that as well. These are nice, but if you were to choose a piece that's in this room, what would be your favourite? You make them so it's hard.
Can I choose a couple?
Aye.
Because for me, pottery was always about making something that was functional. I'll come back over there. And I wanted to be able to people to just have a nice mug.
Oh, you've not showed me that, man. I could have made one like that. So you'll see my beautiful mug, which will be this one. When that's lovely.
They'll be indistinguishable.
And that nice feeling, man. The real
Yeah,
mug.
that's it.
Like I was doing a joke in there earlier, and I was saying about the mugs when I'm going to get buried with mine. But these are like the old style of mugs that people used to make. So,
and I think just having something nice and handmade that you use every day.
yeah.
But for the other thing, which is just something nice to sit and look at, would be one of these. Probably this little.
Yeah, I like them.
Almost like a conker type vase.
It's funny because when I see them after you came in and that was one of the ones you'd brung, it was like I started to see things that were in that shape. It was not necessarily stuff that you had made. It was like in that shape. And ever since then, I said to Jan, I was like, no, that's like Keith's stuff that he does the help. So this is fantastic. And again, thank you very much for hosting us so close to Christmas, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
Have a great Christmas, and we'll definitely be coming and seeing what you're up to in 2026 because we've already discussed stuff. So thank you very much.
No
Merry
worries.
Christmas, Keith. Thank you.
Let's have a good 2026.
Yes, we will, and you will.
Did you do a model? I thought about it.